Hi, I'm Master Peter C. Brousseau here again. First interview with Frank on our website. Welcome to the interview, Frank.
Well, glad to be here, Peter.
All right. Well, you're not a martial artist. That's very clear.
Oh, man, so far from it.
Yeah, you're a lover, not a warrior. But I've invited you out to 2 of our black belt tests over the last year, and everybody loved it. And so I want to talk about what, first off, your impression was coming out here, like, oh my God, who am I going to meet? What are these people going to be like? 2, what you delightfully went away with. So what did you think you were going to meet?
Well, obviously, my second time out, I knew what to expect more than my first. My first time, I guess, was a little over a year ago.
Right.
And I knew you, and I knew nothing about the group of people. And I had visions of, again, and I'm going to be very frank with you.
I hope you're frank. Please be frank with us.
A little pun there, very little as it turns out. I expected to see fathers with their sons or daughters with the little uniforms on and the belts and the cute little hairdos and if it wasn't that, I expected a bunch of people that I would, if I saw them walking toward me at night, I would cross the street so I didn't get in their way.
They didn't look that bad, did they?
Well, no, but I didn't know that at the time. My first time out there, I did not know what to expect. I knew you, but nothing else about it.
The reason I say that is I've gone to a lot of ninja seminars where, in fact, these guys look so bad, with half-shaved heads and all kinds of different crazy. I would walk on the other side of the street myself. So, but our guys don't look like that.
Okay.
So now, in both cases, well, in one case, I asked you to come out and talk about your 27-second message, your marketing message, to be different. And the reason I want them, well, obviously, they're going to have clientele, or they're going to want to have clientele, so they ought to have a marketing message. Okay, we're not just a bunch of killers. We got a very well-rounded look at being a warrior. Okay, so tell a little bit about the 27-second message and how do you think they might have used that or will use it?
Sure. Again, when I hear martial arts, I think of the ones I see on strip malls, Taekwondo, Bruce Lee, pictures of Bruce Lee, and then I see something called Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and all sorts of names, and I said, they're all the same. And all I can picture was the Bruce Lee movies, where he does his things. And I said, man, how are they going to differentiate? Because everybody teaches basically the same thing, going after the same target audience. And I said, as I was driving out to your place, I thought of an axiom, of a theorem that I firmly believe in. In fact, I made this statement this morning at one of my meetings that I went to in Palm Desert. Every day, a business owner has to answer the same question. Do I want to have competition today or do I not? And 99.9%, number one, don't answer it, which means the answer is yes, I'll have competition. But if they say, no, I don't want competitors today, I teach them how to do that. And that's what I brought to your group. Okay, because when people say, they mention Anjing Banfa, they say, well, I don't even know what that is. I'll say martial arts. Oh, you're one of those. You're one of those. And so what I teach in the 7, 17, and 27 seconds that you and I have gone through, I say, if you tell people how you're better than the other person, other guy, other gal, you have competition.
Very true.
Compare me because I'm better. Automatically, they have no choice but to compare you to everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
You start off with your discussion, your opening line, talking about how you're different. You don't have competition.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was a point I worked on. I guess I was on for a half an hour with talking to your group of people. By the way, before we close, I want to talk about my impression after I got there versus what I thought I was going to meet.
Yeah, well, that's I'd like to get that too.
Yeah, we'll get that in. And so what I worked with them last year, which is the first time I met with them, was a few words where you set the stage. You says, you know what? I am not like those other people that you see at the strip malls. And I am different, and here's how I am different. So you either want to work with someone like me, or you want to go with what everybody else does, which is not really, it's what everybody else does as opposed to that. So that was the point I got across on my first talk, which was on 27 seconds.
Excellent. Okay. And so coming away, what do you think about it coming away?
I was impressed.
Mm.
I was impressed. There were people of all ages. Again, you and I being on the older side of the spectrum. There was
more experienced, seasoned.
All right, more experienced.
Old age and treachery wins out over youth and vigor every day. Okay, go ahead.
I'll take the youth if there was a pill like you and I would take that pill if we could get the youth back. But these were very serious people who have the utmost respect for not only what you teach with the Anjing Banfa, but also for you, Peter.
Mm.
And also for the other senseis, Larry and those other people.
Mm-hmm.
I was very impressed with the respect that they showed for their teachers,
mm-hmm.
including myself. And I was there for, like I say, my half-hour class, both times. And these were just quality people that if I saw them walking toward me at night, I would make a point to walk on this side of the street and shake my hand and say, "Hi, my name is Frank," because these are the kind of people you want to be with.
They'll save your life in a heartbeat.
Absolutely. And these were just good folks. I mean, you could tell they were good people.
Yeah, they're good warriors, no doubt about it. They even made our homemade shirts and everything. I still got blood on mine.
Which I proudly wear, as a matter of fact.
Somebody's got blood. I don't know whose blood that is, but I draw a lot of blood from time to time.
Okay.
Yeah. So now, excuse me, on the second class, what do you teach?
Yeah, second class, again, and thank you for inviting me out there. I want to do something different. Like I said, the first I talked about how to be different and not better, because being different is better than being better. And what I talked about this time, and I used a prop. My prop this time was a paper plate, one paper plate, and a pen. And I told them little stories. At the end of each story, or statement, or a couple of statements, I would take my paper plate and I would draw a line, just one line. Mm-hmm. Then I'd put it down and tell them a few more statements to pick up the plate, and they draw another line, and they had no idea where the line was going.
Weren't they drawing them upside down too?
Yes, yeah, they were, and they were outstanding in following directions, because, and I'd rather not say what the end result was in case I do this class again and that somebody who hasn't been to my class.
Right.
But the moral, I guess, the goal of this teaching was, too many times, and just small business owners, or even people in general, women when they put on their makeup, men when they shave in the morning, think that what they're looking at is the most important person in the world. And I tell them, you're not. The lesson was, it's the people you serve is the most important person in the world. That student you have, that 5-year-old little girl who someday may get bullied, or even worse, molested or attacked.
Yeah, that's awful.
You have the opportunity to help her and help her parents. And again, I get a little dramatic. So at the end of my lesson, I said, next time you look in the mirror shaving or putting on makeup, take out that paper plate that we just finished. That's who you serve. There's a person on that paper plate, and that was the lesson.
That's a great lesson too. It's one of the lessons up in the members only section is the 3 things that sensei knows.
Oh.
You walk through the door. It's not how important I am, it's where you're at. And the first thing sensei knows is, where are you in your belt level material? Okay. What do we need to do to move forward with that? Number 2, have you paid your dues? Got to keep the business open, right? And number 3, is your mind in the right place to move forward in your lessons in being a warrior? Because the last thing we want to ever do is to teach somebody how to kill somebody and have a loose cannon. So we do a lot of checking to make sure that as we're moving along the way, that their head's in the right place. So.
Yeah, and what I left the last time I was there, which was, I guess, about a month ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, calling what you teach, Anjing Banfa, martial arts, is like calling going into a church and listening to a Billy Graham when he was younger and healthier, obviously. A place to sit. There is just so much more. Anjing Banfa is not just martial arts. Martial arts is one piece of it, but it's a way of life.
Right.
And the way you treat others. And I think that, and if you and your people can get that point across to the moms and dads, don't teach them just how to knock somebody down. Teach them the way of life, of living a good life. And that, I think that is so important, so much more.
We are responsible for all of our students' choices. That's one of the things every sensei is. People say, well, how's that possible? You're just going to tell them how to live? What we have to do as senseis is tell them what waters they're traveling and what their decisions are, possible decisions, and what the end result is. And they make up their mind. They have to live in the fire or get out of the fire, but they have to make it up. But a sensei, is there to make sure you have all the answers and questions linked together for you to make an intelligent decision. And I'm responsible for my guys and their work. When I talk with them, I say, how's work going? What are you doing with that? And you have to get some more education. What are you going to do? And martial arts doesn't teach that stuff. We're talking old world legendary senseis. That everything is my fault if I don't if I don't train you enough to plan for what you're up against. And in the past, I always used to laugh and say, my job is to teach you to survive 15 seconds of the most violent attack I can possibly think of, and I can think of some freaking violent attacks. If I can do that, I win, and you win. So there's a lot to it. I mean, even when we had the main commercial dojo, people would come in and say, well, why should I be here? Well, not only can I teach your child, how to fight and how to take care of themselves, but I can teach them mathematics. I can teach them, really? Oh, yeah, we have the kids come in and we have math class, English class, history class. We're very well rounded, So, and of course, that branches that you can see, Jesus Louise, these guys know tons of stuff from survival to booby traps to handguns and shotguns and how to use them, knife disarms, all the way to how to make a charity, how to cook, how to clean, how to take care of people, first aid, physiology, anatomy of physiology. I mean, all this stuff that normal martial arts have no clue. They don't do any of that stuff.
So when your students and your proteges and your followers go out and talk to people, they're just not martial artists. There's so much.
No, and we're not MMA fighters. That's a big craze. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu was a huge craze. Shoot, I was doing that stuff back in '80. Before they even had it, I was talking about it. This is what you got to do. You got to fight far away, up close, and on the ground, and in the water, by the way, too. And how many martial artists go teach you how to fight inside the water? Nobody that I am. Navy SEALs maybe, but nobody else does that I know. So, and of course our night operations and how to stealth and how to do all that stuff, how to make your own weapons and teach them weapon theory. So they think, oh, this point of hand. I had an old high school teacher call me on Sunday or Saturday, and he talked about his son by marriage in Thailand, who was doing arc welding without a helmet, without a face shield, which is not good. And he says, how does he find, because this guy's old, how does he find something on the web or over there that he could buy? And I said, well, here's what I would suggest. I know he wanted me to do it, but I didn't want to do it. You go to your friend and you take your action, do whatever you want. But I said, well, the first thing you can do is build a face shield with aluminum foil. He goes, oh, I hadn't thought about that. Sure, you take a magazine and tape it so there's got a curvature to it. That's your mold. Mold that around, make a slit, slide it into a baseball hat so that it hangs down, cut another slit out so you can see, and then you get 2 pairs of sunglasses. You take the lenses out of the second one and glue them on the first one, and that will at least give you a minimum protection until we get them the right stuff. He goes, well, I hadn't thought about this, a lot of engineering. My guys, every one of my guys would have thought that up. every one of them, because they've been taught to think, critically think, and about they make weapons out of nothing, out of thin air, but that's how they've been taught. So, I mean, it's a way of life. It's a way of thinking. But I would challenge every one of my guys would do the same darn thing, and they didn't have to be an engineer to do it. Maybe they were taught by an engineer, but which you have your opinions of.
Yes, I do.
I am the engineer, but
yes.
So, will you come back next year?
I'm hoping you'll invite me.
I'm hoping to too. And you know what the good thing is with this? You don't teach the same thing twice.
Right.
And you live by our rule. Every class I teach has to be better than the one before it. Now, how can you lose with an attitude like that?
That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, well, it's the right answer.
Love it.
Yeah, so man, no two classes will ever be the same with that approach. And high energy, high power, lots of fun and learning have to be connected together. Otherwise, nobody learns anything. No one wants to feel stupid on the mat. I mean, we've got all these legendary sensei rules running at the time. Clients don't know it, but they just love our classes. They love what we do. So anyway, what I was going to say was, whatever you're doing this next year, which we don't know what that is, but you keep going through these and inventing these fantastic technologies for business, we'll get to see something different, I bet.
I can't wait to see what I'm going to do.
I can't either.
Okay. Very good.
All right, Frank.
Okay.
Coming on.
Thank you.
And I'm, excuse me, stop recording right now.